Hello and welcome to Favorite Book with Miss Johnson. Today I'd like to share with you one of my favorite books by Doreen Cronin, and it is Duck for President. There's been so much in the news lately about who's running for the presidential seat in 2017 that I thought, well, maybe we would have fun and thinking about what if an animal was listed on the ballot as being a presidential candidate. So let's listen to this book, Duck for President by Doreen Cronin. Raising a farm is hard work. At the end of each day, Farmer Brown is covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, mud, muck, and coffee stains. And he doesn't smell very good either. Take a look at him. And even the chickens are holding their nose. So the animals have chores to do. Do you have chores to do? Could they be setting the table, making your bed, taking out the trash? Well, here are the things the animals had to do on the farm. The pigs had to clean under the beds, the cows had to weed the garden, the sheep had to sweep the barn, and Duck, he had a lot to do. Duck had to take out the trash, mow the lawn, grind coffee beans. At the end of each day, the pigs were covered in lint bunnies, the cows were covered in weeds, the sheep were covered in dust, and poor Duck, he was covered in tiny bits of grass and espresso beans. That's sort of like coffee. Duck did not like to do chores. Do you like to do chores? Something we have to do. He did not like picking tiny bits of grass and espresso beans out of his feathers. Why is Farmer Brown in charge anyway, thought Duck. What we need is an election. He made a sign and hung it up in the barn. Farmer Brown must go. Farm election tomorrow. Now, do you know how old you have to be in order to vote here for the President of the United States? Yeah, 18. You have to be 18. But things are different on the farm. So let's see what happens. The next morning, Farmer Brown found a poster on his door. Vote Duck for President for a kinder, gentler farm. Farmer Brown was furious. See how mad he looks over here in this picture? He ran to the barn and found the animals registering to vote. Now remember, I told you had to be 18 to vote for the real president. And here's what they said their voter registration requirements were. That you must live on the farm. Yep. Show a valid ID, which is a new thing for 2016. But you must be at least this tall. The mice didn't quite like that, so they marked that off. On election day, each of the animals filled out a ballot and placed it in the box. The vote was counted, and the results were posted on the barn wall. Farmer Brown, 6. Duck got 20. How many votes were there altogether? 26. Let's turn the page and see if that's right. Well, Farmer Brown demanded a recount. One sticky ballot was found on the backside of a pig. The new tally was Farmer Brown 6, Duck 21, which took us to 27. The voters had spoken and Duck was officially in charge of the farm. Running a farm is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, mud, muck, and coffee stains, just like Farmer Brown. Running a farm is no fun at all, thought Duck. Okay, so That night, he and his staff started working, and he was going to run for governor, who's in charge of the state. Vote for me. I'm a duck, not a politician. Duck left Farmer Brown in charge and hit the campaign trail. He visited small town diners. He marched in parades. He went to town meetings. And he gave speeches that only other ducks could understand because he spoke in duck language. Quack, 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 quack. The vote was counted and the results were posted in the local paper, and he won. And the lady he ran against seemed very upset. So she demanded a recount just like before, and they had a pancake breakfast, and some of the votes were stuck to the bottom of a pallet of pancakes. But Duck still won. The voters had spoken. Duck was officially in charge. Running a state is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in hairspray, ink stains, scotch tape, fingerprints, mayonnaise, and coffee stains. And he had a very bad headache. Running a state is no fun at all, thought Duck. So that night, Duck and his staff started working on the presidential election, just like we have now. A duck for change. I like Duck. Duck, making us proud again. So Duck left his staff in charge, and he went out and he kissed babies on the campaign trail. He rode in parades. He gave speeches other ducks could only understand, and he even played the saxophone down here on a late night television show. On election day, the voters cast their votes, and Duck had won. But the president demanded a recount because there were 10 sticky ballots found stuck to the bottom of the vice president. That's the second one in charge. Well, Duck still won. Running a country is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in face powder, paper cuts, staples, security badges, Secret Service agents, and coffee stains. And he had a very bad headache. Running a country is no fun at all, thought Duck. Then he checked the help wanted ads in the newspaper, and it says, Duck needed, no experience necessary, must be able to mow the lawn and grind coffee beans, as espresso beans from the beginning of the story. So Duck left the vice president in charge, and he headed back to the farm. And at the end of each day, Farmer Brown is now covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, and mud, muck, and coffee stains. And Duck's doing something really different. Can you guess what it is? He's working on his autobiography. That's the story of his life. Well, we'll wonder who's going to win the presidential election this year. Maybe we should all vote for Duck. Thanks for listening to Miss Johnson and Favorite Book.